what makes a condominium a non-warrantable condo? I'm sure there's a slew of information, but just give me the top few things you see.
One of the biggest ones that I see is investor saturation. So like, let's say you owned a massive construction company and you bought a mill building, which is really popular in New England. And you converted it over to condominiums and you retained more than 50% of each condo. So you were the owner, you sold off some, maybe some cash buyers or people that were able to find really, really specialized financing to be able to buy these things.
Yep.
They sold off to them, but let's say there was 100 units and you still owned 60 of them. There's a bigger than 50% investor saturation, meaning that there's one entity, one person that owns the majority of the condos, and the marketability is all in their hands. And the value of these condos is going to be dictated on how that one person maintains and manages the majority of the condominiums in there. So I very often see where condos are very hard to get financing with traditional financing because the investor that renovated the building to produce these condos still owns the majority of them. Because of our volume and our production with condos, Sam has direct access to Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and FHA to figure out how they're going to sign off on certain condominium complexes. One of the popular ones in the area is like the 903. The 903 is a massive downtown. It's very nice. The condominiums are very well designed and attractive, and they're really, people are really excited to buy them in there. But the construction company and that produced and made all of these condos, they still own a lot of them in there. One thing that movement figured out is that if a buyer is buying a condominium from the investor and you're taking away from that saturation, Fannie and Freddie are okay with that part of it. Whereas if let's say I owned one privately and then you were the investor and a buyer was coming to buy it off of me and I'm not the majority stakeholder in the condominium complex, but there is this investor that does own all the rest of them, they don't like that. But if you buy a condo right from the investor, they'll sign off on that because you're taking away from that saturation. So it's like these very small interpreted guidelines that allow us to be a competitive lender. So that's one example. A lot of other times they might not have their insurances, the master insurance policies correct, or there's discrepancy with the budget for reserves for the association. So all condominium complexes are governed by a body called the homeowners association, the HOA, which is what you pay your fee for. Every condominium owner pays a fee to the HOA, and that money is deposited into a checking account that is managed by, there's a secretary, a president, a vice president, or a property management company. They hire the landscapers, the trash removal, snow removal,
and
maintenance,
the water,
exterior, all of that. When we go to do financing for a condo, we ask for the budget, a questionnaire, the reserves, the master insurance policy. These are all things. It doesn't matter how qualified the buyer is. If the association isn't meeting up to the Fannie, Freddie, FHA guidelines, we can't write the loan.